Welcome to Nostology. We are your host. I'm Shelley.
And I'm Jessica.
And today Jessica is going to do blah, blah, blah. Okay, you know what? Let's just start over with that.
No, we're going to keep that in there.
Okay. Sorry. Today, Jessica is going to share some tips about selling your home and staying safe.
Yes. Well, before we do that, Shelley doesn't know I'm going to ask her this. Put you on the spot. What's happening with interest rates right now?
Ooh, actually, I like that topic right now. They're coming down a little bit.
Yes.
So that's a positive. I'm super excited about it. Got some people, lined up to get ready to refinance.
Yeah, well, I figured we need a little PSA for our listeners.
Mm-hmm.
So where are interest rates roughly right now?
Well, they're under 7% in general.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd say I actually have somebody locked in at 6.5%.
Wow.
And that's with no points, right? You can always buy it down and get a lower rate and all that kind of fun stuff. So that's with no points.
And I've seen some FHA and VA as low as closer to 6. No?
Not quite there yet. But I just haven't priced any out that are quite that low yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's all dependent upon credit scores and all that kind of fun stuff. But they're getting there, people. I'm so excited about it.
Well, the big reason I wanted to ask, we were talking the other day about people that are getting letters or notices from their current lender.
The mortgage servicer.
The servicer is who you have your mortgage with currently.
That's where you make your payments.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So you can refinance with anybody. You don't have to go through the current servicer of your mortgage. But
absolutely.
Will you share the story?
My gosh, horror story. Yes. One of my clients shared with me that the mortgage servicer had offered them, it was 5.875. And I was like, wow, that's a really good rate. Do you have the details of that? Because that is below current market levels. And he shared the quote with me, and they actually added $24,000 to his loan balance to buy the rate down. And didn't even realize. They didn't tell him that.
Yeah.
So when they're offering these, well below market rates, you don't realize they're actually charging you for that and adding it to your loan balance on the refinance. Now, if you want to do that, great. But
you need to know that
they're communicating it.
Right.
They're basically saying, oh, I can get you this. And then they don't say a word and they add it all in.
Right. Well, that's why I wanted to bring that up for a minute today. So if you've heard the rates are dropping, you were in the market or are still in the market to buy a home, or you're looking at a refinance, it's a good time to talk to your lender and just get updated on everything, because it's a little bit more affordable now.
Yes, it is.
That's, about 1% less, which could be a few $100s a month.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Me too.
And, we are anticipating 2 rate drops by the end of this year. We'll see what happens.
Right.
We'll see what happens. But
well, good.
It's looking better.
Well, to get into our topic for the day, like Shelley said, going over some safety tips, because when you're selling your home, you've got a bunch of strangers coming in. So keeping yourself safe. Now, most people who come in to your home when you're selling it, they're not there with ulterior motives for the most part, but we do just want to ensure that you're as protected as possible. So it can be hard to see it for yourself, so it's really good to have your agent or a stager or even a friend come through and help to look at your house and really see what needs to be done to make sure you're safe, because you look at it every day and you may not notice some of these things.
Right. Like some of your personal photos, you don't think there's any harm in that, right?
Yeah.
But you really don't want somebody seeing all the kids' pictures, right?
Yeah, right. Well, and then, the things of value, sometimes you just overlook it. There's just so much that you pass by in your house every day and you don't stop and think about how that's going to look to an outsider.
Yeah, they might want to snag it. So, right? So that's what we're going to talk about today. Keeping your valuables and your house safe and secure.
Yes.
So what can people do to reduce that risk?
Well, first, when it comes to the items that might be likely to be stolen that you want to put away, the valuables, a lot of people think about big items. They're looking at things like their TV or their computer. Really, it's the small stuff you have to look out for.
Jewelry,
yes, it's a big one. Think about things that could be, snuck into a pocket very easily or into a purse. Okay, so some of those items, like you mentioned, jewelry. You also want to look out for money, credit cards. It's amazing how many teenagers' rooms we go into and we find a $20 bill laying on their nightstand. They just
Oh, wow.
toss it down from their
I didn't think
pockets.
about that.
And then prescription meds is a big one.
Oh, seriously, you're right. Because I guess people are going to be going in and looking at, the space that you have and your medicine cabinet. And
Yeah.
are they going to be opening drawers? Like,
So they can open cabinets and drawers, closets, things that would be part of the house. So kitchen cabinets, yes, they could. Typically, they're not opening all of them. They should never be getting into furniture that would be going with you, though. So, like dressers and nightstands in your desk, they shouldn't ever be opening that. That would be easy for the agent to spot and go, you're crossing a line there. But if they're opening a kitchen cabinet to see if it's the soft close cabinet drawers, so that could be opened.
Or somebody, like me, I don't know if I've shown you my closet, where I have like jewelry hanging on the wall, basically.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't want all that hanging out
You
there.
would want to pack all of that away. If it's very valuable, I would put it in a safe. Most of the time, if you're tucking it in where it's out of sight, out of mind, they're not going to be going through your things, but you don't want to have these things just left on surfaces. And we see a lot of houses where prescription meds are left on the bathroom sink or on the kitchen counter. And how easy that is, especially if it's controlled substances, pain meds, slipping a bottle into a pocket. Again, they're usually not coming in like looking for those things, but I mean, it happens. Matthew Perry's book that he wrote, he did that. He went to open houses
What?
and stole pain meds.
Did he really?
Yeah. He admitted in his book. And you wouldn't think seeing Matthew Perry come into your open house that, we better watch out. He's going to be stealing stuff. So, yeah, I mean, it's just being careful and mindful of those things and tucking them away. Like I said, really valuable locking them up, but usually just tucking them into drawers and cabinets is enough where it's not there and a temptation.
Okay.
Another big one is car keys or house keys. The most common thing I see is next to the front door or garage door, you have a rack where you hang on your keys. That is very easy for someone to swipe keys and pocket them.
Oh my gosh, my sunglasses.
Mm-hmm.
My sunglass wall.
All the little stuff.
I have hanging by my bed.
But imagine if they get your house keys or your car keys.
Right.
And then they could come back later and steal your car.
Oh my gosh.
So that's always a big one that we look out for and make sure we take down the key rack.
Okay, so you need to have a professional in there looking at everything, kind of telling you. I mean, you're getting ready to move, right?
Yeah.
So it should be okay to box some things up.
You want to anyway. Like when we had Wendy on for the staging call, it helps to depersonalize. You don't feel like it's your house anymore and it's easier to let go.
Ooh,
But yeah, you're moving. It makes it easy when you've already packed up half your stuff. You have less to worry about when it's time to move.
Absolutely. Okay, so getting rid of like personal items and things of value. So I think
small electronics. Oh yeah, I was just going to say like small electronics, tablets, AirPods, little things like that. All the littles we want to tuck away.
Okay, anything that can fit in a pocket.
Yep. Mail.
Mail? Oh god, I didn't think about that. Okay.
There's a lot of personal
knives.
stuff.
Really nice steak knives.
I have never thought of that one.
I have seen some people stick them in like a jacket, a coat
Oh my
pocket on the
gosh.
inside. Yeah, they
Oh
can
my
take
gosh.
off.
I had not even thought about that. Okay,
Better
hide your
watch
steak
out.
knives.
Hide the steak knives. Yeah, exactly.
The other thing is all the personal effects. We talked about that with Wendy as well. But the things that somebody can learn from touring your house about your family. So removing anything that has personal information. We talked about that with Wendy, like diplomas and family pictures. You just mentioned that with family pictures. But there's so much that gives away details. I actually went into a house where there was so much. I got there early. My clients were running a little late. So I was walking the house by myself. And the things I pieced together, they had like the family calendar on the wall that had all the kids' games on it. And there's a picture of the kiddo with their uniform on the fridge. So I know what team they play on. And now I know where they play. I know what the kid looks like. I know his name because it's written on his wall in his bedroom.
Wow.
I know how old he is because there's one of those Pinterest things in the living room that has everybody's birthdays and anniversaries on it. So the things that I could learn from that, and this is online too. It's not just people who are going into your house for a showing, but some of this stuff they can see from pictures, like the sports memorabilia on the walls and the name on the walls. So that's out there for all the people, not just the ones coming in the home.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
And this is where I was saying an outsider to come in and really look because, like I said, that calendar on the fridge, a lot of people just don't even think about it. It's part of their everyday life and they don't think to take that down.
Good point. Well, okay, so I think one of the things that makes it so unnerving for sellers is they aren't home. So, it's
Right.
unusual to have people in your house when you aren't there. So, how does a seller know exactly who is going to be coming into their house?
Yeah, so when you get requests for showings, they should be there with an agent. Now, there are some options. So, some of these companies now are offering services where people can come into the home without an agent. There's codes on the door, they text a number to get the code to get in. And so it makes it to where they can see it without an agent. Now, typically, we see this more on houses that are vacant, not occupied. But yes, ensuring talk to your agent, make sure that these are going to be showings where there's an agent involved, which is, like I said, the most common, but you do want to make sure
Oh my
of
gosh,
that.
you mean people can actually get the code and come in without an agent?
That yes, they have it
I
set
didn't even
up.
know that was a thing.
It started with some of these companies like Open Door, where they own the property, they've purchased the property, but anybody can go see them. You can go in, and there's some safety issues there for buyers if you're going to look at those houses because you have no idea who else is in there.
Oh, yeah.
I actually had that once. We went in, there were no cars outside, nothing in the driveway, no indication that there was anyone there. And when we got inside, there were three guys standing in the kitchen.
Terrifying.
We were we were out of there so fast.
See ya.
So, but yeah, so that is something to make sure that these will all be buyers will all be escorted in by an agent. Now, how do you still know who that person is? So, in most cases, we don't ask for pre-approval beforehand, but it is something you can do. You can ask that all showings provide you with a pre-approval or proof of income.
Okay, so that at least you can find out who they are.
Yes, you know who they are, and it is someone who is actually qualified to be buying your house.
Oh, yes.
It's really common. We see this, on like luxury homes, maybe priced over $1 million. That's when we do usually start to ask for that. But I've had people at all price points who have asked for that. It does make it a little more complicated. Sometimes showings can't get approved in time because we haven't had a chance to get documentation. But yeah, again, just discuss with your agent to see if that's something that you should do if you're concerned. The other part of it, though, is like the access. And this is a big safety point is how will that buyer and their agent get into the home? So there are a lot of different types of lockboxes. Most common what we see is they're called super lockboxes.
Mm-hmm.
We get them through the real estate association and they're tracked. You can only open it with an app that is registered through the association. So only agents,
Perfect.
inspectors, they can open it, but it's through their app. So we know who it is and we can track it. So if the lockbox gets open, I can look it up and see who opened it at what time. This is the safer option because with combination boxes, the old combo lock boxes, we still see quite a few of them out there.
Now, who uses those?
I mean, there's still a lot of agents who use them.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And I know.
Like, why?
Cheaper, easier. Now, other people can access them too.
For that special lockbox?
Yeah, you're paying to have access to that program, so there's a monthly fee as well as paying for the lockboxes themselves. They are a lot more expensive, but they're not something that you have to invest very often in. We reuse them all the time, so it's not like it's a one and done.
I gotcha. Okay.
But the combo lock boxes, I mean, the benefit there, yes, it's nice because if you have someone else who needs to get into the house, that's like maybe the sellers have contractors that they want to get into the house, they could access it through that combo lockbox. But the problem with those is that someone else could get access that shouldn't have the code. The agent may have it written down on their notepad, or the buyer may see them open the door and know what that code is.
Oh, wow.
And then they could come back later. And especially if the home is vacant, that's, if they see that the home is vacant, somebody's not living there, and they know how to get into the house, you might have a squatter situation or something. So I really do not like using combo boxes unless we absolutely have to.
Gotcha. So, okay.
I get some people who do ask, though, these new locks that people have, the smart locks where they can program it. It's a code to open the door.
Yes.
Some people like to use those, and it's similar in that you can make a one-time code. You can track it. The seller can track it and see when it's being opened, but it still could be given out to the wrong person. So even though you gave that code, it doesn't mean that they didn't see it on that piece of paper. So, and you can't tell who actually opened it. Whereas with the Supra boxes that we use, I can look it up and say, John Smith is the one who opened it at 7 p.m. tonight and know exactly who was in there.
Sure.
So
Well, a lot of people have cameras now. So, I
Yes.
mean, is that allowed? Is that a good idea?
Well, there's pros and cons with the cameras. With cameras, you can have them, and it is allowed. You just have to disclose it.
It's on the outside of your house. Do you have to disclose that because you can clearly see it?
Yeah, we still put it in there. Actually, in our MLS, there's a place where it asks if there's surveillance, and it asks if it's audio or video or both. So that way we can let people know in advance that there is surveillance. The negative is that it can make some people feel uncomfortable when they see cameras, especially inside the house, all over the house. They feel a little weird talking. And as a seller, you shouldn't be listening. If you have audio, you should not be listening in on those conversations, even if you've disclosed it, because they could be talking about things that have to do with their offer. And so that it's an invasion of their privacy to listen into that.
Right. Or you might get offended if they don't like your cabinets or something.
Yes, don't listen. You will. You'll get offended. You'll be pissed off that they said that it's a hideous color you painted the
Right?
kitchen, and then you're not going to like their offer. You're going to get emotional about it. So don't listen. But yes, you can absolutely have them for safety. I have had quite a few clients who've had them in there. And like I said, I know that some buyers get a little weird around it. They're like, oh, there's cameras. Let's not talk. Let's get out of here. But if you feel more comfortable and that makes you feel safer, you absolutely go ahead. Just make sure your agent knows and it's disclosed.
Got it. Okay. Okay. What about open houses?
Yeah.
Are those a good idea?
Yes, open houses I think are a good idea. I think it'll be even more so with some of these changes that we've seen with buyer representation. I think we're going to see some more buyers starting out going to open houses.
Mm-hmm.
They are safety risk though, so it's something to talk to your agent about and make sure it's something you're comfortable with. Even though your agent is there, you're opening it up to a lot of people, and sometimes we might have 10 families in the house at the same time, and I can't physically be in every room
Right.
with
Well,
everybody.
I know, and I know, you've asked Landon on my team
Yes.
sometimes, to be there for safety reasons because it's kind of sometimes better to have two people, right?
Yeah, so
Or maybe
especially
even
if it's
a guy and a girl. If it's a girl, don't you want a guy there? Maybe.
well, yeah, and that's for the agent safety too. So going both ways, open house safety applies to the sellers and their property as well as the agent. For the sellers, if we have 3 or 4 families, and when I've had large houses that are 5,000, 6,000 square feet, you can't see everything. So having multiple people, sometimes even 3 people if it's a very large luxury property, that way you can all spread out and watch what's happening. So that's why, yes, I've had Landon when we think we'll have a busy open house or it's a large property and I need an extra set of eyes
Mm-hmm.
and someone to help answer questions. But for the agent, this is a risky job. We are going into vacant, empty homes with strangers.
Yeah,
So-
absolutely. You don't really think about that, but I've heard some things in the past that were kind of scary.
There's been a few situations where there have been people who've been attacked or even killed, agents killed
Mhm.
when out showing. So guys, don't take offense if we ask you to send us your pre-approval and driver's license and all these things before we meet you.
It's a safety thing. It's a safety thing.
I had some people get upset with me after an open house recently. They were pissed. But
Why?
we were leaving and I was the last one to leave and I was getting my last sign in the car and they pulled up and they said, "Is it closed?" And I said, "Yes, it ended 15 minutes ago." And they said, "Well, can't we still get in?" And I told them, no, I was not able to do that. And they were so mad. But that's the actual riskiest time for an agent because if it's at the beginning of the open house, other people could walk in at any time.
Mhm.
But if it's over and it's closed up and there's no signs in the yard
they
and
just
I
want
go
you
back
to go back in there.
and I go back in that house with you, we have no idea when anybody could come by. So if an agent tells you no, they're not staying past the closing time. They may have other appointments and things too. So,
or a family, or
They have a life.
Yes, a life.
but it's also a safety thing. You never want to stay alone past that time because that is the biggest risk.
Gotcha. Well,
So-
like what else have you seen? Any other suggestions to stay safe when selling?
Check your house after your showings. So, when you get home, just take a walk through the house. If you see anything that is, amiss, something that is wrong, it's best for us to know right away. That way we can pinpoint. So if something was taken, for example, in a house, if we know right away, then we can pinpoint which showing may have done it. If we find out 5 days later, like, oh, I have no idea when that item went missing, then it's hard to pinpoint that and to be able to do anything with it. You also want to check doors and windows. Just make sure everything's secure. Somebody didn't leave a window unlocked as they were testing things out. Not saying that they're doing it for malicious reasons, but they could have just been testing out windows and left one unlocked. So do that. If your house is vacant and you're not there every day to check on things at the end of the day, make a plan either with your agent, with a neighbor, a friend, family member, somebody who can be there regularly to check on it, because you don't want a door or window to be left unlocked and have it unlocked for days. So.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Very good suggestions.
Yes.
Stay safe.
Of course. Absolutely. Well, thank you guys for joining us today. Be sure to check out our socials. You can find us at Nestology Podcast on Instagram and Facebook. And be sure to leave us a review, too, wherever you're listening to us. Give us a rating.
Yes, but ignore my bloopers. Thank you for joining us, where we hope you make the best of your nest.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.